To me, there's a lowercase fat liberation and an uppercase fat liberation. Lowercase fat liberation is the stuff I do in my life every day to create fat positivity, like putting as much butter as I want on my toast, like wearing a bikini at the beach, finding a sturdy chair, getting a towel that fits me, telling the truth about my experience with fat phobia and feeling heard and believed, not trying to disappear or shrink my body. It looks like asking for weight neutral care at the doctor. It looks like wearing shorts and having visible cellulite or fat rolls and not feeling like I should not show that to the world. Uppercase fat liberation to me is the world that we create once the culture has decided to really finally end fat phobia. And I think in that world, everyone has access to the stuff on the list that I just mentioned. It's not hard to get if you're in a larger body. You don't have to spend years and years and years learning to feel like you deserve it. In that world, fat kids are never taught shame. They're never put on a diet by a doctor. They never stop learning how to move and eat for fun and for joy. Everyone has clothes they like. Everyone has a towel that fits them. And no one has to not do stuff that matters to them because of the size of their body.
All right, guys, so we got to talk about Dove, who is facing a growing backlash over their recent fat liberation campaign. Yes, Dove, which I guess you can call healthcare, skincare company, whatever, right? I guess hygiene company. They are promoting obesity, okay, with their fat liberation campaign. They're hiring plus size influencers to come out here and to talk about fat liberation and to talk about being fat in their life experience of being a fat person and the discrimination and victimhood they face as a result of being fat. Take a look.
The word fat, let's talk about it. Being fat to me means reclaiming a word that once tore young me down. I'm talking about this beautiful little girl right here. According to Dove research, 88% of girls aged 10 through 17 have at least once in their lives been shamed because of their body size. This is exactly why Dove is raising awareness for body size bias in partnership with NAFA, FLAIR, and others to advance legal protections against body size discrimination across the U.S. If you're just as passionate about this cause as I am, I encourage you to click the link in my bio and sign the petition.
In honor of Labor Day and in partnership with Dove, I thought it would be appropriate to discuss the negative labor and economic impacts of weight discrimination. The Real Cost of Beauty Ideals report by Dove provides some useful highlights. First, employment. Weight discrimination results in lower employment rates and lower pay for fat people. The report cites a study which found that fat women are less likely to be employed than their thin counterparts, and when they are employed, they are paid less on average. The report also notes that fat employees may experience discrimination in the workplace, such as not being hired for jobs they're qualified for, being subjected to a hostile work environment, being denied promotions, or even being fired because of their weight. And to be clear, that should be enough for this issue to matter, but in case it's not, here's some more information. Weight discrimination is not just bad for the worker, it is also bad for business. The report suggests that businesses that engage in weight discrimination miss out on the talent and skills of fat employees, which can reduce their productivity and innovation. Finally, weight discrimination is not just bad for the worker or individual businesses. No, it's bad for the whole economy. It contributes to social inequality, which reduces economic mobility, which contributes to poverty, income inequality, and suppression of economic growth and stability. Individuals and organizations need to take a stand to end weight discrimination. You can do so by signing the petition at dove.com/sizefreedom and sharing your story using the hashtag #sizefreedom.
Yeah, so this campaign is comical for multiple reasons, okay? They're trying to make fat people out to be victims of society. They're facing discrimination because of their weight, okay? It is society's fault, not their fault that, they are plus size. And, because they're plus size, there has to be special accommodations that people are going to come to conclusions about, their discipline and their work ethic and, a bunch of other things I think are fair criticisms and fair questions to ask of somebody who can't stay, a normal size, right? No. Let's not actually, hold these individuals accountable for being plus size, we have to make them out to be victims because we want to sell more products, right? Now, this advertising campaign would not be as controversial, for as silly as it is. It would not be as controversial as it is if Dove did not decide to sponsor a BLM activist by the name of Zyanha Bryant, who also happens to be plus size. But in addition to being plus size, this woman also is accused of ruining a white girl's life who is a college student based off false accusations of racism. And there's a whole lot of backlash against her, okay, and Dove for sponsoring this woman, and I want to talk about it. But before we get into that, okay, I think that the best way to liberate yourself from fatness does not have anything to do with being woke, okay, or demanding people essentially give you special rights and privileges because you're fat, right? The best way to liberate yourself from fatness is with proper diet, exercise, and supplementation, which is why the sponsor of this video is BioTrust. A new study reveals a surefire way to increase your odds of losing weight, and it's easier than you think. Apparently, the simple habit of just stepping on a scale on a frequent and daily basis increases your chances of losing unwanted pounds compared to if you didn't. Researchers believe that monitoring your body weight this way leads to you keeping your goals at the front of your mind and to recognize patterns that are working. But hundreds of thousands are looking to accelerate their weight loss with supplement support. I found an exceptional alternative that use naturally sourced and science-backed ingredients from Mother Earth to promote reduced fat storage by speeding up the breakdown of fat. And this amazing alternative is called Belly Trim by BioTrust. Ultimately, the natural ingredients inside work together to support weight management, reduce cravings, and a boosted metabolism. Most importantly, you can save 51% this month only. Plus, for a limited time, you will receive several free gifts, including free shipping, a 60-day satisfaction guarantee, free VIP live health and fitness coaching for life, and 2 free new ebooks titled Top 10 Foods That Burn Belly Fat and Top 8 Exercises to Reduce Belly Fat at no additional cost to you. Go to trimwithpatriot.com. That's trimwithpatriot.com, or click the link down in the description below before this once-in-a-lifetime deal sells out.
My belief is that we should be centering the voices and experiences of the most marginalized people and communities at all times. So when I think about what fat liberation looks like to me, it looks like centering the voices and the experiences of those who live in and who maneuver through spaces and institutions in a fat body. It looks like making accessible spaces and having conversations that are aware of the fact that people have different bodies and that they are interacting with space and people and institutions and communities in a different way. Fat liberation looks like fully embracing those differences and having those conversations instead of shying away from them. To learn more about fat liberation and the campaign for size freedom that Dove is supporting, visit dove.com/size freedom. Tap in, join the campaign, support the campaign. This is important and we should all be talking about it.
What I'm about to tell you is a story of privilege in America. So I have an update on that video. If you've never watched it, I posted it last May. Got a couple million views. And it tells the story of a girl named Morgan Bettinger, who was a student at the University of Virginia. She was the daughter of a police officer who died of cancer a few years prior. She dreamed of one day going to law school. That was until a fellow student at UVA named Zyanha Bryant, a BLM activist who led the movement for Charlottesville to take down a statue of Robert E. Lee, legitimately ruined her life with a false accusation of racism. Zyanha Bryant claimed that Morgan Bettinger had threatened to run over protesters at a BLM march in 2020 with her car. There was no evidence that she had done this, no video or audio of Morgan Bettinger saying this. It was just Zyanha Bryant's word. Based on her word alone, Morgan Bettinger was expelled in abeyance, meaning she could continue her studies but was banned from campus. She received 50 hours of community service, had to write an apology letter to Zyanha Bryant, and had her entire reputation ruined. Fellow students denounced her, professors did as well, and her dreams of law school were shattered. Meanwhile, Zyanha Bryant thrived, appearing on the cover of the Washington Post. Morgan Bettinger, meanwhile, was eventually cleared of wrongdoing by the university. Her life spiraled to the point that she needs medication in order to fall asleep. She spends the time that she should be in law school in therapy. Zyanha Bryant's life is thriving. Morgan Bettinger's is not. You can just feel the white privilege on full display here.
Yeah, so you seen that, you heard that, okay? Again, very messed up story, right? You have a woman who was going to school to be a lawyer and ended up in a situation where she got lied on by BLM activists, claiming racism because that's all they know how to do, which is to claim racism. Turns out that the accusation was false, and the woman who was the subject of the accusation ended up essentially losing her livelihood behind this false claim, and the person that made the accusation ends up getting rewarded for it, okay? Not only, are they making front page news as some type of civil rights activist, but also they're getting rewarded with brand partnerships from companies like Dove, who apparently believe that, people are supposed to be fat, right? That it's okay to be fat, okay? That size freedom is a thing, which, hey, I guess from a certain perspective, I kind of get it, okay? If you have a product and, people have to use your product to clean themselves, if you have more surface area to clean, then more of the product will be used, okay? Which means that they'll probably end up spending more money because they're gonna have to use more of the product to actually, clean the surface area of their skin because there's just more there, right? So I kind of get it, okay? I kind of get the whole size freedom marketing tactic here from Dove in order to sell more products, right? I kind of get it. What I don't get, though, is sponsoring somebody who essentially ruined another person's life over false accusations of racism. But again, I'm not surprised because these companies in woke America don't really care about these type of things, right? They don't have any real integrity, and they're simply trying to appeal to the wokest and most victimized, or, the people that claim to be most victimized among us, okay? So because of this, again, Dove is facing calls for boycott, okay? You got people posting pictures of their Dove products in the trash. Lisa Roach, a mother of two who lives in Kansas City, was among those who said the partnership is not okay. Quote, as a lifetime, yes, you heard that right, a lifetime #Dove user, you cannot hire bullies, liars, and those who discriminate to market your product and expect to retain your market base. I will stop using your product in a second, she wrote, full stop. Another ex-user said he guesses he's bought my last bar of Dove soap, while a third tweeted, quote, I'll have to toss my Dove products and never buy them again. Quote, I'll stop buying the products. Another person tweeted, never again. Yeah, so again, there's a ton of people, okay, that are essentially roasting Dove, okay, and coming out against Dove because of what they're promoting. Now, again, how do I feel about this? I think, obviously, them sponsoring this BLM activist is really bad. I think that the whole campaign is silly, right? I don't like the fact that we live in a country where it's not okay to tell people the truth about being overweight and obese, that it's not a healthy thing, it's not a good thing, and that we're trying to pretend that lying to people in some shape or form is actually good for them, right? When the reality is telling people the truth that no, it's not okay to be big, it's not okay to be fat, actually is going to help them. It's actually going to help them, live longer, have a healthier, better quality of life. And that's just the facts. That's just reality. That's the science, right? But again, when it comes to this issue right here, facts and reality don't matter. Like a lot of issues on the left, okay, they care more about hurt feelings more so than they care about facts, right? Again, whether you're talking about gender, whether you're talking about, again, this fat, liberation thing, the same patterns on the left happen to pop up, right? People who we need to be telling the truth, okay, no, you can't tell the truth to them. It's a form of bigotry and hate to tell the truth, to say, okay, no, men are men and women are women, or that, being fat is not healthy. Oh man, you're a bigot for that. Again, it's amazing how that works. It seems to me that the left, they really don't actually care about the people that they claim they care about, because if you cared about them, you would tell them the cold hard truth, right? If Dove cared about the people that they were sponsoring, Dove would not be rewarding them for bad behaviors that, again, cost not only themselves, but also cost the rest of society in the form of increased healthcare costs and other things associated with having a society of people that are obese, okay? And this is a huge problem in this country. Way too many people are overweight, and the problem is only going to get worse when you got corporate America essentially telling people it's okay, right? In fact, no, they're victims because the rest of society doesn't want to accommodate them, right? Again, it's really silly stuff. Okay, we are living in clown world, and stories like this are just another example of just how backwards our society really is. Okay, and it really is a damn shame that this is what we're putting out here nowadays. That it's fine, it's okay, to be obese, and it's just not, right? It's really not. But hey, Dove is facing calls for backlash. Maybe we have to have some company that makes anti-woke or not woke, right, soap or something like that. The parallel economy really is much needed in today's woke world. It really is. Let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.